Hello everybody. Welcome to Storytime again from the Milledgeville Public Library of Illinois. The story we have for you today comes from Australia, and it is a story about how we can learn to help each other and to work together. This is the story of Warrigal and the mundurra. Warrigal, the old dingo, which is a kind of a dog, a wild dog, was lying in the brush, creeping very slowly closer to the black wallaby that he was hunting. Now, Warrigal was a very old dingo, and he knew that if he did not get close enough to jump on the wallaby right away, it would run away, and he did not have enough energy to chase it, for he had not had enough food in a very long time, and he was very skinny and very tired. As he was creeping closer and closer to the wallaby, he was just about in striking range, and suddenly the wallaby sat up and looked about and ran away. Warrigal was not happy. Something had scared off his wallaby. And so he laid there in the grass, pressed flat to the ground, waiting to see what had scared off the wallaby. He didn't have to wait very long. Very soon an old mundurra, an old hunter, stood up out of the grasses with his tura, his spear, in his hand, and he did not look happy. For you see, the mundurra had also been tracking the wallaby and trying to catch the wallaby, and something had scared off the wallaby that he was tracking. And so he began to look about too, and he didn't see anything at first. And then out of the corner of his eye, he spotted Warrigal lying in the grass. And he thought to himself, well, a skinny old Warrigal is not as good as a fat wallaby, but at least it's something to eat, for you see, the hunter was quite old too, and the poor mundurra had not eaten very much in the last few days, and he was also very skinny and very hungry and very tired. And so the mundurra lifted his tura, his spear, up in his hand, and he turned around and he began to run towards Warrigal. And Warrigal stood up, and he turned around and he began to run away from the mundurra. But they were both very old and very tired and very hungry, and so they did not run very fast. And before very long, they both became very out of breath. And finally, Warrigal stopped running, and he turned around and he looked at the mundurra and he said, "Why are you chasing me, old brother?" And the mundurra said, "I am not your brother, and I am chasing you so that I can throw my spear at you and kill you and eat you." But he was so tired that his hand was shaking very badly, and so he really couldn't throw the spear and make sure he was going to hit something. Well, Warrigal said, "I think perhaps we might be sort of brothers, for you see, we are both lonely hunters, and our old age unites us further still." The mundurra, he lowered his tura, his spear, to the ground, and he let it rest there, and he said, "Well, you may be right, old Warrigal." And Warrigal said, "Well then, if we are brothers, we cannot kill each other. We need to do something else. There must be some other way we can both get food." Well, the mundurra thought for a bit. He scratched his beard. And then he said, "I think I might have an idea. Since we both of us are very old and very slow and very tired, perhaps we should work together instead of apart. If we work together, we might perhaps be able to catch enough food that we can both eat, and we will eat better together than we will separately." And so they did just that. They began to work together to catch their food. And together they camped at night, and they had their fire, and they sat beside the fire together. And over time, the old mundurra and the old Warrigal became very good friends. And so to this day are their descendants. If you go to any banya, any camp in Australia, you will find the Warrigal's descendants and the mundurra's descendants living side by side and working together to get their food. And that is the story of the Warrigal and the mundurra that comes to us from Australia. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you will join us again on Friday at 3 p.m. Central Time. We'll have another story for you from the Milledgeville Public Library of Illinois. Bye!